Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Engemann is about to come on and rock this house. And my goodness, he's going to take this rocking to a whole new level. And you're going to hear why in just a second. But before that, let's talk about you. You are someone who wants to make a big impact in the world. And I want to support you however I can. Whether it's one-on-one coaching, helping you launch your podcast, get your message out like that. I love talking about that. If it's coming on the 12-hour marathon and doing an interview to get your message out to our audience, I love talking about that. However I can support you in being your greatest possible self, I'm here for you. I love you, and I just love seeing you shine and step up into your power, own it, and make a huge impact in the world. So keep shining, keep stepping up, keep challenging yourself, keep growing into your GPS, okay? I'm going to share about this amazing iTunes review of the week by C. Trippy this week. And C. Trippy says, great content and energy. I'm a newbie and I'm already improving what I do daily from this great content. Thank you. Thank you so much, C. Trippy. And if you want to give us a review for the podcast, you want to subscribe, you want to stay tuned, just search Become Your Greatest Possible Self on the Apple Podcast Store. You can also search Become Your Greatest Possible Self on Google and find whatever your platform is that you love to listen on. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, wherever works for you. We love having you tune in and subscribe and keep getting all these great updates because we release a new episode on the podcast just about every single day. So thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And if you want to get a hold of me, if you want to message me, chris@beyourgps.com. That's the email, facebook.com/th3burns, or find me on Instagram @IamMillionaireChris. Thanks. Looking forward to hearing from you and continuing to massively grow on this journey together. I'm going to introduce Paul in just a second here. Before that, though, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, be ready to take notes because we're going to empower you to change your life, to change your finances, to change your health with this beautiful new revolution that's going on. And you definitely want to stay tuned all the way through to the end because it's going to be gold, so much value to empower you to step up. Okay, so stay tuned. Let's introduce Paul and we'll bring him on the screen. Paul Engemann has an extremely varied background. You might say he has been a serial entrepreneur. In the music field, Paul has had great success as a singer and songwriter. He topped the charts as the lead singer of 1980s pop groups Animotion and Device. Animotion reached number 7 in the United States of America with their hit Room to Move. As a solo artist, Paul sang the main title song in the Al Pacino movie Scarface. Working with the renowned composer Giogio Moroder, Paul co-wrote and sang themes for the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles and the 1990 World Soccer Cup in Rome, Italy. His theme for the Summer Olympics became a huge hit throughout Europe. In the 1990s, Paul and his wife founded a large interior design firm specializing in high-end residential work. Their efforts were prominently featured on HGTV and on the front cover of the internationally recognized magazine Architectural Digest. Since 2005, Paul has reached the top levels of achievement as a distributor in the world of network marketing. He's crushing it. He's a multi-million-dollar earner and has built networks of tens of thousands of people and created hundreds of millions of dollars in product sales. His greatest passion is helping others to achieve the same level of success. Many members of Paul's team have also become million and multi-million dollar earners. And that's, oh my gosh, that's just the tip of the iceberg of why we are bringing this guy to you today. And Paul, we are going to rock this house. Are you ready to rock it, man?
Absolutely, Chris.
Boom, shakalaka. I love it. You are live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self. Paul, thank you so much for being here and for all your eclectic experience and being able to bring that to our audience today and impacting tens of thousands and millions of people's lives. You are just doing so much, man. So I appreciate you being here and thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you, Chris. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in, man. Today's theme of this interview and today's 12-hour marathon is your message multiplied. So I'm asking each of the guests, what does that mean to you? How has that impacted you, multiplying your message, Paul?
Well, I'm really part of an industry that does that naturally, Chris.
Yep.
And it's been remarkable to see. Network marketing, which some people really misunderstand.
Yeah.
And we can discuss that and some of the misconceptions that people have. it does that naturally. And I'll just give you an example. When I started with my current company, I was with one company for 12 years and was their number 2 earner for 12 years.
Wow.
But I left that company about 3 years ago for multiple reasons, and now I'm with a new company. But when I first started talking to people about it, I sent a message to somebody in Norway. And, I was just kind of getting the word out. Because of that one person, there are now 4,000 people on my team just in Norway.
Wow.
And so talk about multiplying your message.
Wow.
Now, you can't multiply a message that doesn't have value.
Right.
You have to offer something that has value. We happen to do that. So if your message is simple and has value, then it multiplies. And it's as simple as that.
Wow, and that's so important. The simplicity is super important. So it's duplicatable, right? So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to try to teach another rocket scientist, and it takes years to duplicate that.
That's exactly right. And it has to be something that people have a passion for, that touches their lives. Let's face it, nobody's going to part with $1 ever. Unless parting with that $1 makes their life better. Man. It's all about that product being valuable and helping.
I love this. I love this aspect. And you also had some really huge success as a musician too. I just want to get your take on multiplying a message like that. What was that like for you?
Well, radio basically did that. Yep. Radio and MTV. But music is, and here we are talking about all these many multiple things. Sometimes I truly do feel like Forrest Gump. Because I just keep backing into things that happen to work. But I grew up in a music family. My father was the vice president of A&R for Capitol Records, and he signed the Beach Boys and Bob Seger and Steve Miller and Grand Funk Railroad and many, many, many other big acts. But because of that, I was exposed to a real wide array, a total gamut of musical styles, musical influences. And I really came to learn that, music is the language of the soul.
Yeah.
And so that naturally spreads from person to person just because it touches them. So there's a commonality here, because if you're touched by something, if you're passionate about something, you want to tell somebody else about it.
Definitely, man. I love it. Okay, so I want to get more of a overview. What you stand for today? Like, what do your clients come to you for? What do people come to you for? And what do you stand for, Paul?
Well, my larger purpose, I guess, is to really help others to achieve financial freedom.
Yes.
And more importantly, and the basis of that is physical freedom, physical health. Because if you don't have that, it's such a cliche, but I'll say it. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. Yeah. I've never seen a hearse going down the street with a U-Haul behind it with all the possessions. We got to take care of ourselves first.
Right.
But I help people to really produce their own freedom. And that's my biggest purpose right now I love that about network marketing, because it's a really moral business model. I cannot succeed unless I empower others to do so.
Yeah.
And that's very different than the corporate model. If you're the new guy in the department of your corporation, nobody applauds when you walk in. Nobody goes, "Oh, goody, Paul's here. Let's help him get a promotion," right? Because everybody is competing for that single promotion.
Yeah.
In the world of network marketing, everybody can be the CEO, and by empowering you to reach your highest and best self, I benefit. Yeah. So it's kind of self-interested benevolence.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing because the more your community and your team wins, the better you do. And I think I started with network marketing like 7 years ago on my personal development journey. I would not do personal development unless I saw, oh, there's something in it for me, right? Oh, I get to make money, so I'm going to be a better leader so I can make more money. And it was in that process of having the light bulb first go off that I really found what was underneath it, right? It's like you get started for whatever reason, but then you find out, oh my gosh, there's like so much more to developing myself as a leader, to sharing about these amazing products that change the world. And it's like, what a beautiful reality of freedom to be able to create from that.
Well, I will tell you, participating in network marketing is a personal growth engine, and it is so because your results depend on you.
Yep.
And I mean, you certainly are working with a team, and you develop a team that amplifies your efforts. Mm-hmm. But you really, in order to have more, you have to become more.
Yes.
And you have to help others to do the same. And I always tell people, you grow your people. That's how you grow your business. And we all wind up sort of having to challenge ourselves in unique ways that perhaps are outside of our comfort zones. But then again, nothing fabulous, nothing wonderful, nothing epic was ever achieved in an easy chair in a comfort zone.
Nope.
And I mean, I'll give you a perfect example, just from my own self-development. Mm-hmm. I mean, as a singer, I sang in front of thousands and thousands, stadiums of people. And I never thought about it. It didn't scare me. I mean, it probably just because I grew up in that arena. However, there's kind of a mask that you wear when you do that. And you're playing a persona out there. I'll tell you what terrified me. Speaking at church. I mean, like standing in front of a group of people or having to address a small group of people. It was absolutely terrifying. And, I think I'm not alone, because surveys have shown that, the number one fear that everybody has is public speaking. The number two fear is death.
Yeah.
So most people would rather be in the box than giving the eulogy.
Wow.
But, one day, I mean, I was having to speak in front of groups of people, just to build my business. And it was terrifying every single time. But one day I really had an epiphany, and it was a pivotal point in my life where I was standing in front of this group of people and feeling completely terrified. And I looked at them and I thought, wait a minute, they love their family just like I love my family. They don't want to have to worry about their bills just like I don't want to have to worry about mine. They want to be able to do nice things for others just like I do. There's such a commonality. What am I worried about? And I have to tell you, since that time, public speaking is that's my most comfortable place on earth.
So much fun.
but I had to challenge myself in order to get there. And so I highly recommend to everybody, step out of your comfort zone. It'll feel a little bit uncomfortable, but what happens is if you stay out there long enough, the comfort zone grows to encompass that discomfort.
Yep.
And, because you have two choices. You can either live in your comfort zone, or you can, as you get to the edge of that comfort zone, you can step back in fear, or you can move forward in power. And then the comfort zone grows to encompass that, and your results grow depending upon how much you grow. And it's just really it's something that excites me so much, to see other people do that and to do it myself. Yeah. So there you go.
There's like I was an adrenaline junkie when I was growing up, riding dirt bikes and things like that. I'm sure, playing to a crowd and being a musician, you got to get the blood flow and the adrenaline.
I got it, Chris. Honestly, there is nothing like it. Honestly. Truly, there isn't. I mean, when you are in front of a crowd and then the crowd is with you, and there's that interaction, and you just feel like you have them right here in the palm of your hands. I gotta tell you, There's no other feeling. I don't think any drug could give you that.
That's incredible. I love it. So I want to go back into your journey just a little bit more and
Sure.
talk about, what was it that really had you value freedom and value being able to lead so many people? Like, where did that really become important for you in your journey?
Well, I'll tell you what. I have a disparate background, obviously. You told people kind of what my background is, and so I've participated in a lot of different ways of earning income.
Yep.
I learned from my show business life, and I started that show business life very, very young. I was in front of a microphone when I was like 6 years old.
Dang.
Earning money,
Wow.
Soundtracks for Disney and many other things. Because of my family, right?
Yeah.
Well, I learned about something called residuals. So I'll give you an example. I did the soundtrack of a movie called Dr. Dolittle. Now, the millennials are thinking, oh yeah, that Eddie Murphy movie. No. I'm talking about the one in the 1960s that starred Rex Harrison. I was one of the little kids singing on that soundtrack. I think I was about maybe 8 or so.
Wow.
Do you know that I still get checks from that?
Wow.
I hate to tell you, I'm going to be 62, but I still get checks from that movie. And so I learned about a residual income that happens many times after you do the thing that produces the income. Wow. And I got to tell you, that was an eye-opener for me as a young child. Most people, they don't have the ability to create that. Most people, they go to a job where they trade their time for some money. It's honorable, and people feed their families and have lives based on that. I just learned that, gosh, if I can do something once and get paid for it over and over again over time, that's what I want to do. If you write a hit song like I did, or if you have a hit record like I had, it goes out and it works for you. Yeah. You're sleeping, it's working. Now, in the 90s, my wife and I had our son in 1991. He's 28 now. And but we looked at each other and went, how are we going to do this with me being on the road all the time with a band? And my wife was a very, very busy actress. So she was always off on some set, How are we going to raise this child? So we decided to start a traditional business. And we started an interior design firm and just grew a very, very large business. My brother-in-law is Larry King from CNN. And when we did Larry's house, then, we were on the front cover of Architectural Digest, and our business just exploded. Yeah. Now, we did really, really well in design, and I loved it. It was a very creative outlet for me and for my wife. Yep. However, I also learned that you can sell a couch precisely one time, and then it's sold, and you got to go find somebody else to go sell a couch to.
There's no residuals from a couch.
That's right. There's no such thing as the timeshare couch, right? So, in 2005, I was actually at Larry's birthday party in Beverly Hills, and I met a woman who had a concept for a network marketing company that really resonated with me. And I decided, wow, that's kind of interesting. I might want to pursue that. And I did join that company. And as I said, I became a multi-million-dollar earner in that company. And I was their number 2 earner for many, many, many years. I had to learn as I went about network marketing. Here's the thing. I saw network marketing as a vehicle for residual income, but I, like many, many people that I know, was really a little trepidatious about network marketing. And what I mean by that is, I kind of had a picture in my mind of network marketers as people that wear bad polyester and jump up and down in hotel rooms shouting stupid slogans and accost people and annoy people, right? So I grew up in Los Angeles, but I live in Provo, Utah. And many people might not know this, but it is kind of the nerve center of all network marketing on planet Earth. Within a 50-mile radius of my home here, there are over 340 network marketing companies. Some
Wow.
of them multi-billion dollars, some are smaller, but I mean, there's a lot of network marketing here. So I had friends that were absolutely private jet rich from being network marketers. And I thought, well, they aren't that way. They aren't that typical picture that I have in my head. There must be a right way and a wrong way to do this.
Yep.
And so I learned the right way. The good thing about network marketing is also kind of one of the pitfalls of network marketing, and that is just that anybody can do it. Anybody. You don't have to get a license. You don't have to get any specialized training to do it. You can just sign an application and then go do whatever you think that is. And that creates what I call the visit from Uncle Clueless, which everybody's had. Everybody's had, some excited uncle or aunt or neighbor or friend or cousin come over and say, oh, you're going to be so rich. You got to do this with me. Just sign up. I promise it's going to explode. Or they try to beg you into it. And, most people just go, if that's network marketing, I don't want to do it. Right. I got good news for you. That's not network marketing. Nope. That's just a very well-meaning, clueless person really kind of being a bit of a buffoon. So, like I say, I learned the right way to do it and how to really make it about other people and how to empower other people. And it's been very, very good to me. And I've earned my living full-time now in many, many millions of dollars for the past almost 15 years in network marketing. And now I'm very excited about what I'm doing, which is working with seed-based nutrition. And really helping people with their health and their pocketbooks.
well, let's dive into that, man, because I know the seeds based nutrition is more of like a revolution in terms of like what's going on in the health and wellness space. Tell us a little bit more about it, man.
Well, years ago there was a group of physicians at the University of Maryland, and they were trying to help a group of pediatric cancer patients. These were little children, bless their hearts, who had gone through, chemo and radiation. And you can imagine, I mean, that's so devastating to an adult body. You can imagine what it does to a child. And these little kids their bodies were really just kind of devastated and depleted. So they were looking for a way to help these children to restore their immune systems, to start to thrive again. And so they came up with a mix of seed extracts. Now, seeds, what many people don't know is that seeds have 20 to 30 times the concentration of nutrients than any other part of a plant or fruit or vegetable. So they have the proteins, they have the enzymes, they have the minerals, they have the essential fatty acids, really everything that your body needs on a daily basis, but they have it in such a concentrated form. Well, you can't just chow down on a bowl full of seeds. They'll go right through you.
Right.
So they found a cold pressing process, and they did a mix of seeds. This was the original product from now that is represented by my company. And it was a combination of black cumin seed, black raspberry seed, and grape chardonnay seed. Black cumin seed, I mean, if you haven't looked this up, Chris, it really will blow your mind. I highly recommend that you just go Google black cumin seed health benefits. It's mind-boggling. Black cumin seed is 281 times more anti-inflammatory than aspirin.
Oh my gosh.
So this combination of seed extracts, along with a natural sugar that's called D-ribose, that's present in every cell of your body and helps you to take food and make it energy. This is a little combination, and they developed this formulation, and I have to tell you, these kids just started to thrive. And now there are many, many other more benefits to it. This particular product that we're talking about, in independent studies, reduced cellular inflammation by nearly 80%. Increased the ability of the cell to fight aging by nearly as much, about 79%. and has all the essential fatty acids and antioxidants that your body needs. Myself, and the company that I work with now has other seed formulations, and it's all based on the idea that seeds are the genesis of nutrition. They're the basis for everything that we eat. Everything starts with a seed, and it's the most pristine form of nutrition. So there you go. That's kind of
Paul, where are people going wrong with attempting to get their nutrition from good old-fashioned vegetables, fruits, and the traditional, food pyramid?
They're not going wrong in attempting to do that. Here's the problem. About 25 years ago, Monsanto introduced the first GMO seed. That stands for genetically modified organism. Okay. And these are seeds that have been modified to act like their own pesticides. Now, just think back 25 years. I know you're barely 25 years old, but the rest of us that might be a little bit older, I want you to think back 25 years ago. Did you know anybody that had fibromyalgia or lupus? Did you know a lot of people with diabetes? Was there as huge an obesity epidemic as there is today 25 years later? No, I didn't, and there wasn't. And so we have a real crisis, a health crisis in our nation. Do you know that the top number for obesity in any given state, just maybe about 20 years ago, was like 15-20%. It's now like pushing 35-40% obesity rates. Wow. And the Center for Disease Control, they used to have this color-coded map that would show you the percentages of different states where they were as far as obesity. They're having to invent different colors because it just keeps rising and rising and rising. Oh my gosh. So if you eat an apple today in 2019, you'd have to eat like maybe 3 apples to get the same nutrition that you would have gotten from the same apple, in 1970. And it's because farmers are using non-sustainable methods, artificial fertilizers. And I have to tell you, 80 to 90% of what we eat comes from genetically modified seeds. So there is a problem there. Now, genetically modified seeds have done some good things and some bad things. I would just say that the balance is more towards the harmful, because you can look at the results. Look at what's happening to the health of our country, to the health of the developed world. And I go into Costco and I see these grapes that are the size of my fist, and I go, that doesn't happen in nature.
Gold. This is gold. So people out there, like they have good intentions. Like the information that we've been given is, go eat your fruits and veggies, but that may not be the whole story. It's like, yeah, but is the fruit today or the vegetable today the same quality as it was 25, 30, 50 years ago? No, like the nutrition isn't there. So here's an opportunity to get what has been depleted from our natural crops and make sure that we're getting all those essential nutrients in us. And Paul, when people have those nutrients, what can they expect, or what are possible outcomes of their health?
Well, I'll tell you, I can't, I'm not, the FDA won't allow me to share all of the things that have happened, all the wonderful things that have happened, but I will tell you this. The products that I represent, these aren't miracle products. Your body is the miracle. The problem is most bodies don't get what they need to have to be the miracle. And these are just little simple liquid solutions that, you take every day that give your body what they need. I'll tell you what happened for me, because I can tell you that. Yep. As I said, I'm going to be 62 this year. I can't believe how does that even come out of my mouth? How'd that happen? I guess it beats the alternative.
You're glowing, man. You're glowing.
But, you start to feel a little bit aches and pains and different things going on. And, I still think I'm 26, you know, in my brain.
Yeah.
So you go out and you try to do things that you used to be able to do, and then you just the next morning you roll over in bed and go, wow, it feels like I've got muscular dystrophy. What's going on here? Since I have been working with Seed Nutrition, I don't have those aches and pains. I have better energy. I'm able to do things that I was, you know, want to do and not pay that price. So, you know, you give your body what it needs, and it does what it was designed to do. That's really it. You know, these products are anti-inflammatory. Doctors have tied, you know, inflammation. It sounds so innocuous, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh, look, my fingers are swollen, or oh gosh, my eyes are a little swollen. That's not the kind of inflammation that I'm talking about. I'm talking about inflammation all the way down to the cells of your body. And we, as people in the, you know, developed world, most of us are walking around, we're walking balls of inflammation. We're just chronically inflamed. Why? Well, stress does it. The chemicals that we're exposed to on a daily basis do it. The pollution that we're exposed to does it. The bad oils that we eat, all of, you know, there's a lot of these saturated oils, and then a lot of petroleum products in what we eat. Believe it or not, like in corn chips, petroleum oil that's been modified for us to be able to consume. Can you imagine you're consuming petroleum oil?
Disgusting.
It gunks us up, it inflames us. Doctors have tied chronic systemic inflammation as the trigger to hundreds and hundreds of degenerative diseases. And they now know inflammation is more dangerous for heart disease than the cholesterol, because it's the inflammation that makes the cholesterol stick to the walls of your blood vessels. And so if you can reduce inflammation, you can increase health. If you can slow down the rate at which the cells age, you can increase health. If you can slow down the oxidative stress caused by free radicals in your body, you can increase health. That's what the products I represent do. That's what Seed Nutrition does. And,
so Seed Nutrition is this new, like really condensed, pure, at the beginning stage form to get all these nutrients. I know your company has like their own processes of how to get it, and you mentioned you can't just go eat seeds and get these benefits. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's a cold pressing process. So they take the seeds, and without using heat, which might destroy some of the nutrients, they're able to press that out into a liquid form that contains all of the pristine enzymes, proteins, vitamins, minerals from that seed in a super concentrated form. And so that's the basis. And then it's the different combinations. And we're working with some of the most accomplished physicians and scientists in the world. Dr. Fernando Diaz is he is a neurosurgeon. This gentleman is so impressive. When I met him, I mean, I was just like intimidated, because not only is he a brain surgeon and one of the first people to ever operate on a human brain with robotics, but he's also a PhD, a lawyer, and he speaks 7 languages. I mean, let's kill him, right? I mean, come on. Wow. So Dr. Diaz, along with a very dear friend of mine now, Dr. Christina Cook, who is a PhD and a medical doctor, and has worked with all the top pharmaceutical companies to develop some very important medications. Together, they and other top physicians are the advisory board for this company. They've helped to develop these products. Dr. Cook, she has a really wonderful story. As a young woman around 23, she became pregnant with twins, and one of the twins turned into cancer instead of a human. and they wanted her to have an abortion. She decided not to do that, and she had cancer throughout her body, but she is cancer free. She used both traditional and nutritional, approaches. And this is why it's her passion to work with products such as these, because she knows what these can do for people. That's kind of the basis of how the products are formed. So yeah, that's it. Seed-based nutrition.
I love it. I love it. So it's really also an untapped area of the market, right? Because this is something that a lot of people are just now learning about. Like when I talked to you, it was the first time I ever found out about it. I feel like I'm pretty up to date on a lot of the current stuff that's going on. So tell us a little bit more about how this is a new market opportunity and how people can,
sure. Absolutely.
grow that.
Actually, it's the company's larger in Europe and Asia, because that's kind of just sort of where it morphed into. Different leaders had influence in those countries. And it really is sort of just now coming here. The thing, I'll tell you what attracted me. I was looking around. I was leaving my previous network marketing company because of some ethics problems that I felt like they had. And so, I feel like I have a real world PhD in network marketing, just because, I've done it. I've created huge groups, millions and millions of dollars of sales. So I knew what to look for. And I had a friend of mine call me named Susie Kwok. And Susie is kind of a legend in network marketing. She's been in the industry for 35 years and really is just a legend. So she knew I was looking, and she called me and arranged a meeting for me with this company and with the owners. And, I went in knowing what I know and asking the right questions. I was looking for a company that wasn't a startup, because startups are dangerous. They go out of business a lot. I was also looking for a company that had not hit momentum yet. And what I mean by that is there's a typical pattern in network marketing of growths of companies, successful companies. And typically when a network marketing company hits between 50 and $100 million in sales, in yearly sales, they start to go into a vertical growth period that is just unreal. And if you get into that company and work before that happens, then that vertical growth just picks you up and carries you with that wave. For instance, companies hit about 50 million. I've seen them do 500 million the next year.
Wow.
And go to multiple billions. I have friends that own some of those companies that have done that. So the company that I'm with is right there, doing about 50, 60 million dollars a year in sales. So that was very, very exciting to me. I've been with them for a couple of years now, and we're just starting to see it catch that momentum. But the United States is wide open. United States, Canada, really North America, even Mexico is wide open. The other thing that excited me is, for me, I saw this as the creation of a category. If you look back over the years, Paul Zane Pilzer, some of you may know who this gentleman is. He wrote a book called The Wellness Revolution. This was in 2001. And in that book in 2001, so that's 18 years ago, he predicted that the wellness industry would become the next $1 trillion a year industry. And he said that's going to happen within the next 10 years, by 2011. Well, that not only happened, but in 2015, it was a $3.4 trillion a year industry. And now in 2019, it's a $4.2 trillion a year industry. So you can see the explosive growth of that market segment. Now, if you look at some of the trends within that market segment, you've had things like essential oils was a huge trend. It still is. Superfruit juices, huge trend, hundreds of millions of dollars of sales. Of course, capsules and supplements and all that, huge, hundreds of millions. And herbs, another huge trend. But when I looked at that, and then when I looked at this and seeds, I thought, what were all of those things that I just talked about before they were those things? They were seeds. Yep. All of that comes from seeds. So it really trumps everything as a category. And when you do a little bit of research, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of peer-reviewed double-blind studies on the health benefits of seeds. Everything from anti-cancer benefits to brain benefits, to heart benefits, cardiovascular benefits, anti-inflammatory benefits. You can just go Google them, So when you look at the research, then you start thinking, wow, there really is something here. So the market's huge. It's fertile ground. It's a category that trumps all other categories in health and wellness, and it's a pristine marketplace. So there you go.
Wow. Well, I love it. And for everyone who is committed to, number one, health, if you want to grow your health, if you want to grow your money, if you want to grow your relationships, if you want to grow your legacy, whatever is important to you, I want you to comment that in the comments below on Facebook Live right now, or take a screenshot of this if you're listening to the podcast, and let us know what is your top priority. What are you growing and what's important to you? And this is a beautiful opportunity, and we'll tell you how you can have a conversation with Paul, because this is super interesting stuff, man. And I know that there's people out there who are like, hey, I want to take advantage of this. I want to jump in at this opportune moment where this company is about to, really grow significantly and very, very quickly. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about leadership, because you've been in an industry that really, it mandates leadership. It mandates personal growth, self-growth. And I know that's been a big part of your journey as well. We actually met at a Brennan Burchard event. Shout out to that guy. He's crushing it, man. So I want to hear a little bit more about what's been important for you as a leader and your personal growth, Paul.
Well, network marketing is an industry where the speed of the group is the speed of the leader.
Yeah.
It's a business of duplication. It's monkey see, monkey do. So if you want growth to happen in your business, if you you've got to be the example. You have to be the standard, because everybody looks to you, and whatever you're doing, they're going to do.
Yep.
So it becomes extremely important to have a really strong ethic of leadership, and always doing the right thing for the right reason with the right people. Nothing will kill a network marketing business faster than a leader who is self-interested, who makes decisions based on what's best for me. The kind of irony there is that if you will make your decisions based on helping others, by default, you will get what you want. It's unavoidable. You improve enough people's lives, you will certainly improve your own.
That's right.
So that's the basis of network marketing, and it's been my great honor to help many people to grow really significant businesses with life-changing income. A lot of people get into network marketing and think it's like some get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. It is a business just like any other business.
Yep.
But the advantage that it has is that you can create leverage. You can benefit from the efforts of others. But in order to do that, you have to empower them.
Yeah.
You have to show them what to do, how to do it. And it's not brain surgery. It's really quite simple. Being a leader in network marketing is just helping people understand what to do next, how to do it, and putting your arm around them and marching with them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. And, I also see that being willing to invest in those relationships, invest in your team, and be able to contribute to them and help them grow, help them get what they want. Like you said, that's so important. And to be able to serve people, you constantly have to be growing yourself. You have to stay plugged in to the leadership and the mentorship. I think a lot of people expect to start a business and just have massive success. And while that can happen, it requires being around people who already have what you want, who've already been where you want to go. And to be a great leader, it's really taking those habits and taking those behavior patterns and taking the way these people who are successful, taking the way they think and reproducing that. And I think it's the people who are most coachable, the people who are most open to feedback, the people who ask for help and actually implement and do something about it versus like, oh yeah, and then they don't do anything about it. Like, you got to implement it too. Those are the people who really thrive in, and it's a great opportunity to learn how to do those things if someone is not at that point yet.
Absolutely. Well, success leaves clues. Yeah. And if you want to succeed at something, follow somebody who already has succeeded at that thing.
Yep.
That's all I did. When I first got involved in the world of network marketing, I came from music. I was a guy who knew how to like sing songs, write songs, and then decorate houses. That was my background, Right. But I figured, look, I'm as smart as that guy.
Yeah.
If he can do it, I can do it. But I better figure out what he's doing.
Yes.
So I can do it. And all I did was just follow other successful people's example. And so that's really what I do. I really can show somebody how to do what I've done. It's not brain surgery. It does take effort. It does take sticking to something, but it's a simple something. It's a very rinse and repeat, thing.
Plus, I know network marketing as an industry, typically the overhead to get started on it is very low compared to other businesses. Like going and buying a McDonald's, I think you have to have like $2 million cash today to go do something like that. And to get started in network marketing, it's like a couple $100 or $1,000 or something like that. And it's like, boom, you have processes, you have templates, you have a system that works for you, rather than trying to have to invent something on your own and failing your way, like bumping into walls all over the place. You might still do some of that stuff, but it's a lot more streamlined. Plus, you have leaders who've been there before who could take you step by step and take your hand and help you through it.
You are really speaking my language. Because I'll tell you, that's what it just gets me so passionate and excited, because exactly what you said, somebody can invest $100, $1,000, a couple $1,000, and start. Now, this is going to sound very bombastic and unreal, but I'm telling you, this is my experience. You can start an international, multi-million-dollar business for that. Now, I have friends that own franchises. I have a friend that bought a Culver's franchise. It's a burger joint. It's by the freeway. Spent $4 million and on that, and I'm sure it's going to be very, very successful, but it's going to be a long time before that guy breaks even.
Yep.
He is going to pull people from a certain region. It exists in time and space, in a geography.
Yep.
So people are going to come to it from a certain ring around that store, and perhaps off the freeway casually. It's going to take him a long time to recover his investment. I started the business that I'm in right now, my current company, for $1,500. I now have a business that spans the globe. Yeah. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of people in my business, all over Europe, all over Canada, in the US, Mexico, and the Orient. I started that from this room. And network marketing has changed quite a bit because of technology. Back in 2005, when I initially got into this industry, it was all about getting you, Chris, to come to my meeting at my house or go to the hotel or whatever. And it's fine, and it worked, and we grew huge businesses that way. But I got to tell you, I was a Diamond Elite level distributor in this company before I ever left my home or ever gave a meeting, because of things like Zoom that we're on right now. because of Skype, because of Facebook and Instagram and any social media platform. The world is smaller, more connected. And I talk to my people in South Korea and in Europe on my smartphone for free. You on WhatsApp or Skype, it's just a different, smaller, more connected world, which is taking this industry that's so powerful and just amplifying it like crazy. And the world is changing so fast that jobs are being lost because of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is just eating entire industries and professions. And I'm not talking about just, blue collar manufacturing professions. I'm talking about lawyers. I'm talking about doctors. People, when you see what's going to happen with artificial intelligence in the next 10 years and the displacement that it's going to cause, you're going to want to have a plan B. And I'll tell you, the one thing that artificial intelligence can't do is it can't create human relationships. And people make buying decisions based on human relationships. And network marketing is all about human relationships. So this industry is only getting going. Just a few years ago, network marketing was about $154 billion a year industry. It's currently $189 billion a year. So it's growing like mad. Watch what happens in the next 10 years with that displacement. Yeah.
Trillion. Here we come. Trillion. Yes. Well, this is incredible. And I want to echo the opportunity that people have to get involved and get involved with what resonates with you and your heart and your mission and your purpose in life. If this feels sweet and amazing and fun and exciting and interesting to you, then definitely move forward with it. And find that thing, whatever it is for you, find what lights you up, whatever is your purpose, your passion, and the thing that you want to create a legacy with. What's the legacy that you want to leave? Circling back around to that, how do you want to be remembered in this lifetime? It's circling back to the eulogy, do you want to be giving the eulogy and be proud of that eulogy of celebrating others? And when you receive yours, how do you want people to remember you? That's such a powerful question, man.
Yeah, it really is. And I'll tell you, one of the things, I'll try not to cry talking about it, but I get so many thank yous from people that their lives were utterly changed. People that had given up on life, were basically, invalids sitting in chairs and who have their life back, physically. And then people who, their lives are changed financially. And it's an honor. It's my honor to be able to share that with people and to look back and say, this is a vehicle, and I'm just part of the vehicle. But boy, it just turns me on to empower others. Then it becomes their choice. I can only empower you and lead you and show you what to do and be your ally. Then it's up to them, to take that ball and run with it. But I always tell people, listen, I will run alongside you. If you stop running, I'm going to stop running too.
Right.
But I will be there for every step of the way. Yeah. So I love that journey, and I love helping people.
Yeah, and to be able to make that contribution to others. And dude, you're so open and receptive to having conversations with people who have questions, people who want to connect with you. And I felt like this amazing energy when I connected with you at Brennan Burchard, and then I'm just super grateful we got to connect again on this platform. And I'm sure we're going to be doing even more amazing things, Paul. So let's tell our audience how they can stay connected with you. What are their next steps that they can take? How do they have a conversation with you? What can they do, Paul?
Yeah, well, I believe that there's going to be a link underneath here to my email.
Yep.
Certainly, just email me. I would love to respond to you. Yep. If you'd like to go to my website to kind of check out this business, you can do that. It's www.myrain.com. like it's raining, myrainlife.com / dream force, like Air Force, but with a dream force. So myrainlife.com / dream force. And you can check the business out there. I believe you can send me a message, but certainly just send me an email. I'd be more than happy to respond. And you know, the way that I have succeeded is by creating other leaders. And if that's something that you're looking for, if what I've spoken to you about resonates, be very, very happy to explain more to you, to have a conversation.
I love it. Paul, you are an incredible human being, and everyone definitely send Paul a message, take a screenshot of this, post it up on social media, let us know what your biggest takeaway was from it. And Paul's email again is engmanpaul@gmail.com. That's ENGEM as in Mary, AN as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, Paul@gmail.com. So engmanpaul@gmail.com and myrainlife.com /dreamforce.
You can also find me on Facebook.
Yeah. Search his name on Facebook. Like you're easy to get a hold of, man, and you're out doing some amazing things in the world. So with that being said, let's wrap this conversation up with just your heartfelt wisdom. Someone out there who might be struggling, who might be having a difficult time, just needs a word of motivation and encouragement. What do you got to share with them, Paul?
Well, you know, I mean, we've all been discouraged. People sometimes look at successful people. They might look at me and go, oh, you know, they might just assume that things are easy, that it just happens. You know, it doesn't. It's a journey. I mean, I have absolutely been in fetal thumbsuck mode, you know, under the sheets before, just like everybody else. The thing is you just can't live there. And you really just have to make a decision. Everything springs from the decision. And once you make that decision, once you step across the line, then magical things start to happen. It's like the universe just says, oh, he's serious. Well, let's help him. And I've experienced that time and time and time again. If you're discouraged, if you're in a depressed place, you know, there are things you can do. Talk to your friends, seek help, read great books, but everything starts with a thought. So you have to change your thoughts. And you can't just say, well, stop thinking those negative thoughts. Because it's like me saying, hey, don't think about a pink elephant right now. What did you just think about? Right?
Pink elephant.
Exactly. And so you have to replace that negative energy with some positive energy. The great thing is, all that positive energy is easily accessed. I mean, greatest writers are available just at the tap of a screen. People like Tony Robbins, people like Brendon Burchard, people, you know, just seek out wisdom, seek out the positive. And I will tell you something, I'll part with this. If every morning you will just spend 15 minutes, instead of getting on your social media or reading the news and everything that's so negative in this world, if you will just spend 15 minutes with the positive, reading a good book, you know, some sort of a self-improvement book from people that you can trust, it will change your life. It will utterly change your life. You just put the positive in, because what comes in is what goes out. And if it's all negative, that's where you're going to live. So make the decision, put in the positive, seek the positive. It starts with your thoughts. Thoughts are things. This desk was a thought before it was a desk. This computer was a thought before it was a computer. And your results are the result of your thoughts. So change your thoughts, change your life.
We're doing it now, Paul. Thank you so much. You're an amazing human being, an amazing leader. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate you, man.
This has been really fun.
Awesome. We'll see you soon, okay?
All righty.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.